Okay, so Battery Park is one of my favorite neighborhoods right here in Cleveland. This is an upscale neighborhood located on the west side of Cleveland, kind of sandwiched right between Lakewood and downtown. So let me tell you, when I say the location is amazing, it absolutely is. You're across the street from Edgewater. You're down the street from the Gordon Square district. You have about 4 different restaurants right here in the actual neighborhood itself with amazing drinks and foods. It's very walkable and very dog friendly. The list goes on and on. So make sure you stick to the end of this video to see if Battery Park is right for you. Hey everyone, Alex Gosar here with eXp Realty. And if you're looking to make a move right here to Cleveland, Ohio, make sure you shoot me a text, phone call, or email. Because no matter how you want to get a hold of me, I got your back when moving to the area. So Battery Park actually gets its name from the history of the site. Look back in the 60s and 80s, it was an ever-ready battery plant where the first alkaline dry battery was ever invented and actually rebranded to the name Energizer Battery. And now today, this $100 million redevelopment project is the largest development project right here in Cleveland. Now, if you've ever been to Edgewater Park, Cleveland's most popular beach, it's hard to miss this neighborhood. You can see the Battery Park smokestack is still standing strong and is actually home to Terrestrial Brewing and Terra Bistro restaurant. And these are just 2 of the 4 restaurants here. You have Good Company and All Saints Pub, and All Saints Pub was actually voted Cleveland's best patio in 2022. Now, besides having 4 amazing restaurants, all within walking distance, there's probably over 100 different restaurants, all within a 3-mile radius with Ohio City, Tremont, the Flats, downtown, Lakewood, Gordon Square, all within about a 10-minute drive. I assure you, you're not gonna run out of food options here. Now, because there's so much to do around here, I've noticed that there is a lot of young professionals here and retirees here. If you're choosing to live in Battery Park, you wanna be where the action is because there is always a lot going on here. It's ideal for anyone who's looking to be in a safe residential neighborhood near downtown, but also in an area where there's a ton of outdoor and green space and a ton of activities to attend to. Now, the second reason why it's so amazing to live here is because right across the street, you literally have 147 acres of land maintained by the Cleveland Metro Parks. And the Metro Parks here are a pretty big deal. Look, in 2021, the Cleveland Metro Parks was awarded a National Gold Medal for Best in Nation Award for Excellence in Parks and Recreation Management. All of this right in your backyard. And what's crazy is in the wintertime, you can see people out there surfing, but hey, that's when we get the best waves here. But in the summertime, that's when Cleveland comes alive. Everyone from Cleveland goes right to Edgewater Park. People are always running around, riding bikes, family barbecues, playing football, volleyball, rugby, laying out to catch a tan. I mean, and it's also a great place to catch a sunset. And it's also home to one of Cleveland's script signs here, which has an amazing view of Lake Erie and the Cleveland city. The reason why Edgewater Park is so great to Battery Park residents is because you might have noticed a lot of Battery Park here is townhomes and apartments, which means you won't have a yard. And so you have 2 access points to Edgewater Park. Right in front of the restaurant Good Company, there's a tunnel that actually takes you under the tracks and roads, which is super convenient, or you can always take the road 73rd Street down there. And because you don't have yards here, everyone is out walking their dogs, and I'm not even joking. There is so many people out here walking their dogs at all hours of the day, and if you don't like dogs, I do not recommend moving here. So right next to Terrestrial Brewing, there's actually a park where everyone goes to, and that's where they play ball with their dogs. And obviously you can take them over to Edgewater Park. This is much more convenient. And on Thursday, Terrestrial Brewing actually has live music out there. People are out in the patio enjoying their night, having some drinks and food. And then you'll have a bunch of people hanging out in the park, you know, talking and congregating, playing ball with their dogs. I mean, overall, it's just a really good atmosphere out there. Now, I know I mentioned this earlier, but there's so much more to talk about in terms of location. If you are a sports fan, you can basically see the Brown Stadium from here. If you hop on the Shoreway, you're probably a 5-minute drive to the Brown Stadium, and the same thing with the Guardians and Cavs game. It's like a 9-minute drive there, maybe like a $10 Uber. And for all my medical folks out there working in University Circle, you're under a 20-minute drive and only a 12-minute drive over to Lakewood Park for the Solstice Steps, which has one of the best sunsets right here in Cleveland. And that's why I said earlier, it's a great place for people who are always out and about, because I promise you, you'll never get bored here. All right, so let's talk about housing here. You have 3 apartment complexes here with prices ranging anywhere from around $1,500 a month all the way up to around $2,500 a month. So it's a little bit more on the expensive side, but they're all newly remodeled and beautiful loft apartments. Now, if you're looking to buy a townhome here, prices can range anywhere from around that $300,000 price point all the way up to that $600,000 price point. But the biggest incentive here is that 15-year tax abatement, which means you're only gonna pay property taxes for the year on the land value. Now, as far as townhomes, I'm personally a fan of them, especially because of how modern they are, but it's one of those things where either gonna love them or absolutely hate them. And for the townhome layout, the first floor is that attached garage, usually with an office space on that first floor. The second floor is gonna be that kitchen and living room. The third floor is where the bedrooms are gonna be at. And that fourth floor, every single townhome here has that rooftop deck to catch those sunsets. And for that HOA fee, you're looking around $300 a month, so it is very reasonable. Let's talk about some cons about living here, because nowhere is absolutely perfect. Now, one of the biggest cons here is the active train tracks they have to here. There's gotta be at least 10 to 20 trains a day, so it is a pretty active track. So if you live right along the tracks there, you're gonna have some amazing views of Lake Erie, but you're also gonna be a little bit closer to the track, so it's gonna be a little louder. The other con is how close you are to the water because of the constant breeze that comes off. I'm telling you right now, in the summertime, it feels amazing when it's super hot out, but in the wintertime, you're gonna notice that breeze coming off is at least 5 to 10 degrees colder than if you were to just drive 20 minutes south. So the weather here can be a little bit colder. And the last con I have is actually with the townhomes. Now look, most of them are only an actual 2-bedroom townhome, and that's why I said earlier, this place is great for young professionals and retirees, because having multiple kids in these townhomes with the number of bedrooms honestly really isn't feasible. I mean, like I said, 2 bedrooms, it's gonna be kind of tight. Overall, Battery Park is a great place to live. And remember guys, if you're looking to move out here to the Cleveland area, I would absolutely love to help you with the transition. Look forward to talking to you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.